Hey everyone, Christina Del Rey with your forecast for February 15th, 2021. So we have a big week in astrology, and I know I say that every week, but really every week has been big. But this week we have the start of the exact square between Saturn and Uranus, and really this is what 2021 is all about. This is probably the most major transit for this year. Now, last year, if you remember, we had Pluto-Saturn, and that was to kind of tear everything down and apart, all the structures in our lives. So now we have Saturn and Uranus, and not quite as challenging as last year, but still challenging. So this is a year of revolution. It's a year of change, not just on a collective level, but on a personal level as well. And you have been thinking about what your personal revolution is because the universe keeps giving you clues. If you're not 100% sure where you're going, the universe is asking you to experience life in a new direction, at least in one area. But change is inevitable, and at least in one area of your life. And if you don't like change, the universe is kind of saying, too bad. You're going to have to embrace it at some point. So it is better not to go against the grain. It is better to accept and kind of, manifest something good. So Saturn is asking you to be responsible in one area of life, and Uranus is shaking the foundations of another part of your life. So you kind of have, one foot in an old life and one foot in a new life. And you have to decide what to keep and what needs to go and how you're going to do that. And of course, as humans, we don't like to change. We don't welcome in, change. It's scary to us. And what we have to realize is that this is happening so that you can be shaken free from something and be more authentically you. So whatever is being shaken free from your life, it is so that you can be more yourself and in alignment with what your soul came here to do or to learn. The exact square will happen 3 times, and the first time is February 17th, and both are direct and strong. And when you have 3 hits of a planet, it's kind of like the first time is like, oh, there's a spaceship on my lawn. And then the second one is like, oh, I really should do something about that spaceship there. And then the third one is like, yeah, I kind of understand what I'm supposed to do with this spaceship, and I don't really care what anybody else thinks. I'm just going to integrate it into my life. So that's kind of what is going on here. The second hit of this is June 14th. Saturn will be retrograde, so that means that Uranus is going to be stronger, and that shakes up future, or that shakes up foundations. And then we have the last hit, which is December 24th. Saturn is going to be going direct, and Uranus is retro. So Saturn is going to be stronger here, and it's going to be you focusing on the new structures that you've put into place and building on that now, because you had to understand the spaceship and integrate that into your life. Okay, let's talk about it in your chart. Hello, Leo. So Leo, we have Saturn in our 7th house, and we have the first square to Uranus in our 10th house. So this is a very, very important part of the chart. This has to do with relationships and business partnerships and contracts. So there will be a personal revolution in these areas, probably having to do with status, having to become more responsible in your partnerships, business partnerships, romantic partnerships, and as a result, that freeing you in your 10th house, which is career, or having to do with technology in your career. So Uranus in your 10th house is big because you're kind of doing your own thing, major shakeups in your status. And status can be, your status is how we know you in the world. So what do we know you as? So this is major breaking ground, change ups in how we know you in the world or your status in the world. And Saturn is saying, okay, so how you handled relationships before, now you got to be a little bit more responsible and you have to change that. But you need to keep some of the stuff and you have to get rid of the stuff that's not working for you anymore. And this is so that you can be more authentically yourself in the world. So this is a theme that's happening all year long. On the 19th, we have Venus and Mars squaring off. So it is likely that your values and relationships are going to require some kind of action. Maybe this has to do with a business partnership. Maybe this has to do with a romantic partnership, but there's likely some kind of friction and action that you're going to have to take there that involves your values. And on the 20th, Mercury goes direct, which, means that any kind of, contracts can move forward. It means that things are going to get more clear. But Uranus in your 10th house, that's a once in a lifetime transit. So you really have to kind of be your own unique self. You have to go your own way and really just not look at what people think about it. Because people will have their opinions, but you just kind of have to not care about that. And you kind of have to do your own thing. But Saturn is asking you to be responsible because everything you do this year is going to involve partnerships. And that is where you are learning your most lessons in partnerships. But it is going to alter your status and free you in some way. All right, Leo, it'll be a great week.